Ropz at one point was called a cheater when he was still just playing FPL, and Face It invited him to their office and had him play some games in their office to make sure he's not cheating. After that, he got picked up by Mouse, which at the time and still kind of today is like FaZe's reserve team. They just kind of let Mouse make good players and then they take the players over to FaZe. And he's just a fun player to watch and a fun player to root for. He doesn't seem like a bad guy. He seems like a cool guy. He's pretty cute, if you ask me. And he hasn't had the best 2024. But during the Shanghai Major playoffs, he sort of came alive, and that started in the quarterfinals versus Vitality. Here's Ropz in the last 3 months. Actually, let's check out 2024. Even worse. Last 3 months, he's been playing better. But in 2024, 1.07 rating. You know, if this wasn't Ropz, I'd say, yeah, that's not bad, especially for the level of opponents that he's often playing against. But we're talking about Ropz here. We're talking about FaZe here. We have a lot higher standards for Ropz and the rest of FaZe. This isn't enough. But he came alive during the Perfect World Shanghai Major. He had a 1.21 rating. It's the best rating he's had since Pro League. But in this game against Vitality, where they won 2-1 and started their road to the finals, in the last map, Ropz had a 2.00 rating against Vitality. We're going to check out how he did it. FaZe starts on the CT side. Ropz is sort of the A player. If you're an A player on Anubis, pay attention. Pay attention to the utility. Pay attention to the way he rotates and waits for his teammates, and you'll get a lot out of this. All right, let's get into this. Ropz is typically the A player. Oh, and he hits him with a have fun. Oh, how cute. I think Ropz is about to enter a time in his career where we're not going to see him always going off, but he's going to come alive in those big matches in the playoffs, almost like he did at Shanghai. He's had a rough year, but FaZe we might see a kind of a new roster coming out of FaZe in the next season. How's the info that they're pushing? Amazing shot. Ropz is a 1080 player, one of the native boys, just like me. Plays 1.77 sensitivity, maybe a little below average. That was a nice second shot too. Let's see if Mr. Frozen can clutch this up. Nope. Ropz got 2 kills. He might buy a little something for himself here. It looks like FaZe is going to go for a save. Yeah, he's going to go with the snapping turtle. But speaking about what is FaZe's next move? What is the next phase for FaZe? I think there's a lot of possibilities, and the biggest factor is who actually wants to go somewhere else. Is Ropz looking to join Falcons? Is Brokey looking for a new team? Because if the situation is that FaZe, all the players on FaZe want to continue to play on this team and not retire or go to a different team, whatever it may be, then, oh, nice. See, it just, I can't use the 5.7, but I think it's a really good pistol. So what do you do if all the players on FaZe want to stay? You've got 2 older guys who are nearing retirement age. Kerrigan is still playing well, still calling well, but he was the oldest player at the Shanghai Major. What does he want to do? Does he want to continue on S tier lineups? Does he want to go get some new younger players and try and shape some real fraggers? Does he want to go back to the Danish scene? Probably not. He's been playing internationally for a long time. I think that flash, I don't know what that flash was. That's either for the rush, so they come in, they get full blinded, or he fucked it up. I don't know. It's got an AUG. I think the AUG is underutilized in CS, but I am surprised that he picked this AUG up in their first buy where they didn't get full util. He bought head armor, an AUG, and I think he got a smoke and a flash. Interesting. See what he can get done here. I thought he was going to save, to be fair, but, I mean, they don't have a kit. They don't have time. They got to get out of there. I like that AUG skin, too. I think that's one of the new ones from the Armory Pass, whatever. That was a nice kill. He had the perfect timing. Ropz has a great feeling as far as when people want to take fights. And he kind of lets them take the fight, but gives himself the advantage. He knew that Apex, he knew one of them was going to go for the kill to try and keep them from bringing a gun to the next round. Vitality just won 3 in a row. They have plenty of money. If they lose 1 AK, it's okay. But if they can take a gun out for FaZe, then it's a lot bigger of a deal than them losing an AK. But he was ready for it. Oh, we got some sort of little smoke here. Can we follow that? I think that's an A main smoke. It is. That's really good. Go back and get that lineup. That's a great smoke. Especially if they seem to be playing 2 on A. Let's say you wanted to do something aggressive B, or you wanted to go double up mid for some fast aggression. Smoking that and letting your A anchor sort of hold his smoke until later in the round is pretty good. Still rocking the AUG. I think it's great for A side here. You've got a lot of long angles. We saw him holding that little cheeky angle. That was a nice 2K with the AUG. The AUG is just a spray machine. If you can spray well, you can use the AUG. But he was using that little cheeky angle. You can play from heaven and hold main, from pillar there all the way to camera. That's a easier fight with an AUG. He dropped the AUG for an AK, but I would do that as well, probably. FaZe has an op now. They've got 1 SMG on Rain, which I don't hate. Like, I think Rain could have if he didn't buy a flash, but I don't hate having an MP9 on the CT side. I think it can be super helpful for retakes. Sending the MP9 in, you know, just jumping around, being able to clear things and actually get some damage while moving is pretty big. That was a nice nade. Look at that nade he threw. He threw the molly over toward T-steps. That's something you should be learning. You should be throwing that nade or throwing that molly. Maybe not every round because they're just going to expect it at a certain point, but throwing that every once in a while, you can get some pretty good utility damage. This is kind of aggressive. They did have 3 toward A, so even if he went down, it's not the end of the world, but now they've rotated 1 over, and he's going to go back. He's not going to hold up. He's going to smoke and help out Brokey in middle. If I were in charge of FaZe's lineup, I have no idea, because I do really like this lineup. I don't like it as much as the one with Twist. I'm a big fan of Twist. I think he's probably like I think he's the best North American player ever. Sorry, Elige. Sorry, you don't have a major, Elige. You're pretty good, but Twist has a major, and he played on FaZe and won some tournaments. So he's on a different level for me personally. 2 Grand Slams, too. Oh. What is that? Just a good molly to keep them from rushing. And then he's going to throw the T-step nade. I don't think he got any damage with it, but they knew they were on an eco, so he threw that molly, which is pretty good because I feel like if you rush A with enough power and some good flashes, you can take A with pistols. I think it can be really hard to hold if you don't have the right CT setup. See, this is a good spot to hold with an AUG, just holding so that they can only see half your body with the AUG, especially against pistols. He would have shredded with the AUG here. Let's see what he can get done though. Vitality has no utility. They just got to go in dry. Ropz, yeah, I was going to say he's probably going to smoke this soon. Oh, are they going to do a run boost? Whoa! Little team kill there. Listen, you panicked a little bit, but if I saw Mezzy flying through a smoke, I'd probably panic too. Not the cleanest, but I don't blame Ropz at all for that. Let's turn off the X-ray. Sorry, guys. I had the X-ray on. Listen, this is only the second one I've done, so give me a break. I'm learning. You're learning with me. We're learning together. Oh, double op. Ropz is often the second opper. Sometimes Kerrigan. I guess that just depends sort of on the map and the situation, but Ropz, to me, it surprises me that Ropz likes to op. It's a good volley. I didn't realize you could bounce it off that little grate so easily. But Ropz seems like a hardcore rifler to me, somebody who won't even touch the op. But he likes to pick it up. I mean, you have a player like Rain, who I think maybe has like 2 op kills in his career, and Ropz, when I think of his vibe, kind of gives me a similar vibe. But he likes to op. He likes to do it, which is helpful because he can do some damage with it for sure, and that can be helpful, especially on a map like Anubis. The double op is definitely something that can work. You kind of have one opper on one of the extremities, probably on the A side, and then you have one who's able to go around, rotate from mid. There's a lot of good angles to hold with an op. Oh, combat op. Oh, imagine he got a third there. That was pretty solid. That was... Listen. It surprises me he ops, but he proves me wrong, okay? Let's check Zywoo here, see if he can do anything. Nada. Ropz is currently at 9-4. Again, that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid for an A player, I feel like. They haven't really been hitting A super hard. They went, they split last round, and then on the pistol or on the eco round from Vitality, they also went A, but he only got 3 within those 2 rounds. So I'm surprised how well he's fragging right now. Not surprised, it's just I wouldn't expect it based on his position. Ropz can definitely frag hard. He's going into A main here. We haven't seen him go into A main. I think he knows they're on pistols, so he's got an advantage. He's got the A4, which is really good against players who have no armor. What do you guys use? Are you A4 or A1 players? I've just recently... I got a cool A4 skin, foreskin, and that was a nice cleanup, nice 3K. Nothing fancy, but you don't need to be fancy. You need to win. What M4 are you guys using mostly? I think that A1 is still the leader, and I think I really want to see something big change, something in the economy, something gun balance. I don't want to see the MP9 as much. The CT side kind of relies on the MP9 too much, and it gets a little bit boring. They're fun, but it just doesn't feel like good Counter-Strike when we have the MP9s so prevalent. I like to see the FAMAS be a little better. I'd like to see the A4 being used slightly more. I don't know. I was thinking that, listen, you give the A1 5 more bullets, and you let the A4 one tap close range, like within 8 meters or so. 8 units, whatever. I think you would... I think it would be pretty close, honestly. Because not every fight's going to be that close up so that you can get the one tap. And a 5 bullets more on the A1 is pretty solid. Oh, that was a cheeky little flash. The smoke is also pretty cheeky. Somebody definitely threw that for him so he can take some space in the canals region. I think this map is really interesting. I think we're still not quite at the final point strategically. I think there's a lot of room. I think there could be changes made to the map to make the sites feel better. I feel like B site feels like shit. I feel like there needs to be another fight to take for the CTs and the Ts. I don't know where that would be without changing the layout of the map entirely. But I think the map could use a little freshening up, It's been in the game for what, like almost 2 years now? Or been in the competitive pool. Oh, that's nice. Wait. I wonder if that actually saved him there. Can we go back? Let's just... Oh, shoot, sorry. Okay, we're back here. Let's just go to Mezzi. He didn't see him because he did that. That is so sick. He's going to have no idea about this flank. I've never even really tried to do that because I thought like your guy would be too thick to actually do anything with that. But that's interesting. Maybe I'm stupid and I just didn't ever use that, but I learned something new. Hopefully you learned something new as well. Yeah, they just throw that molly mid and do nothing else. If you look, they just went for a mid molly and then they're playing a 3-0-2 setup here. Still haven't rotated. Brokey's gonna go back. Ropz is just gonna run out. I assume they had the info on all three. That was really clean. He was also really ready for that. It can be hard to recognize what is just pure game sense and what is masterful communication. That was a really clean round from him. That first kill was clean. He had a great timing getting into the site, and he just... I don't know if they had the info on where Palace was or whether the Palace guy was actually there, but he was ready for him. Vitality is going to take their second pause, 7-3. Is this map technically T-sided? I always think of it as a T-sided map. I'll have to look that up and bring the stats right here. Boom. I don't know. I think of it as a T-sided map. The game right now feels a little bit more T-sided than CSGO did just because of the peeker's advantage or whatever. The way fights are taken now, I think being aggressive is an advantage. More so than it was in CSGO. I think being able to nade open smokes has made it a lot easier for you to commit to executes and not just get smoked off and say, well, can't go through that. You can get a lot of kills, surprising people with the nade thing. I think it mostly it's good for both sides. Obviously, it's a fun change, but I think it's better for the T side 100%. He's getting cheeky here. He's getting cheeky, throwing an early smoke, and he wants to get cheeky. Ropz is a little bit cheeky. A cheeky player. He likes to get a little down and dirty, like not a rat. Oh, that flash was perfect. Kerrigan. He'll only get one, but that was a perfect flash. Wow. Let's see what Kerrigan can get done here. He's going in here. Oh. Oh. What? What was that? Are you kidding me? Oh, there's Kerrigan playing on 4x3? Did you not see that guy? Ropz must have seen it. He probably was watching Kerrigan play. 1v1. Brokey versus Spinks. Brokey doesn't want to get pushed up on. Or if he does, he wants to be ready for it. So he's playing far back. There's 25 seconds. Brokey might think that he's on his way to A. He's going A. Or B. Ah, man, I still get that stuff. I was pretty committed to this. Look at the time. Alright. At least it didn't keep him for too long. He was close enough to be able to tell that they weren't in there. This is round number 11. Spinks is just ready for it. He was very committed to that. Throwing that A main smoke again. I'm going to go back and practice that when I get a chance. I like to play mid on this map. But I think that could be helpful for the A anchor. Molly into a nade. I imagine that nade is sort of thrown for them to move past the molly and then you chunk them. I'll see this flash. Just a basic. I think that might be the flash that Kerrigan threw in that round where Ropz got that one, and then I think it was just the last round. I think that's what he threw, and maybe they were ready for a similar play. He was trying to get them scared, trying to get them to use more util to take him in. They're all going sand here. Oh, that looked like it. wasn't where it was supposed to go. I've noticed, maybe this is just because I've noticed it a couple times, but I feel like Ropz messes up his util, like his on-the-fly util, somewhat often. Ooh, I didn't even really realize that you could just walk onto that. Nice. 8-4 half on CT, that's really solid. Really solid. Pistol round, let's see what the strat is. I like to just rush A. Usually, I get a little convoluted with my pistols, even in, like, matchmaking, but on this map, I think just rushing A with the Glocks is super hard to hold unless you have like 3 people there. And I think it's very rare for people to do an A stack on the CT side of this map in Pugs. Good half, have fun. Looks like they're going toward A. Ropz is going to go rugs instead of following Rain through. Maybe he knew the only good spawn, that only the good spawn can get past without being seen. It looks like actually a split sort of. They're trying to fake and bring people off of middle. Ropz and Rain might be trying to do some entry work here. Vitality only has a smoke and a molly. I think the molly going down to 500, the biggest thing, like the best thing with that was that you could get 2 nades on the pistol round. You could get a nade or a smoke with the molly. I think that was pretty powerful, honestly, for the CTs. Instead of just having a flash, you can set up the molly and the nade or the smoke is just a great combo for pistol rounds. I think that was huge. This was a solid pistol. They just brought him off middle a little bit. They entered out A, and they were able to split pretty confidently, pretty easily. Let's go to this next round. Let's see what Ropz likes to buy on the second round. He's got potential for the AK, but is he going to prioritize utility, or is he going to get the AK-47? I don't know why I went British there. I think there's something wrong with my brain. Let's see. Stop freaking being a tease. He's going to get a Galil. Save $200, $250. Why do you think that is? Free flash if they lose the round? They're going toward A. They're pretty confident in their ability to take A against a force buy. They should know that this is a force buy. A half like they had, the 8-4 half, and then they win pistol, they should know that they're up against some MP9s. Mezzy with a FAMAS. Dude, the FAMAS sucks. If you have the FAMAS equipped on CT side, why? Let's say if he gets one, he's vindicated a little bit. Ropz throws some utility and then just sort of holds for the flank. I think it's really important. You can flank really fast on this map, or at least you can flank the A hit really fast. I think it's harder to flank through A to B, but the flank can be huge. And it was also huge for him to hold back because it looks like they wanted to back up. They weren't committed to the A. They more so wanted to catch a rotate. And it looks like Vitality's ready for it if you look at the mini-map. They've got 3 people over there. Good trade. Oh, look at this freaking AK. That is silly. Can Apex clutch this? Let's watch it from his perspective. MP9. There's one. Ropz was in the clutch and he got it. Good job, Ropz. Got the AK. He's also he only has 3 nades again. I don't know why. Is there a reason to it, or is that just how he feels? Sometimes on second round, I'll only get 3 nades, especially on the CT side. You know, save $300 or $400 and get yourself a P250 or get a flash, and that can be huge if you lose the round. Let me get some water. I really like Ropz signatures. This one is pretty classic. He's got a few different signatures on there. If you look at the furthest one, that's when I think he was still on Mouse. Both these are from when he was on Mouse. That one's really nice, and then he's got the heart one. He's got some good signatures. Ropz on the slurk. I don't know how Kerrigan got into Palace, but he did. Ropz is hoping to take connector control while his team plants B. Or at least just hold connector control at this point. They've got no utility. Well, Rain's got a flash, and that's it on the whole server. 4v5. Ropz is ready for a flank, and it looks like Flames is trying to come that way. Ooh, a little sketchy, but he'll clean it up. And they clean it up. Hopefully. Ropz is low. Okay. 4-11. 2 more rounds on the T side will do it. I don't know if Vitality can make this happen. They've got a bye here, so it's totally possible. But and they've got a timeout. But I don't know if that's going to be enough when Ropz has like 35 kills. 23. Same shit. All right. After a timeout is called from Vitality, what is FaZe's opening strategy coming into the first gun round of the half? Ropz still only has 3 grenades. What is he doing? I think he dropped 1, but yeah, Rain had no money, so he dropped over a molly, but he could still get a flash. Cheeky little angle there. I'm bored. Get some kills. Damn. Slow round. They just want to take Canal's control. I think the T side is kind of all about taking control of this area. If you have it, then you can rotate pretty easily, and you can keep the CTs from getting any good flanks in. And if you don't have it, then you just have to execute, I feel like. Zaiwu gets his over at mid, I think. And they're going to get bombed down and just... This site reminds me a little bit of Vertigo, or at least how Vertigo used to be played, where you would just try and get a guy to plant the bomb and then just play in the post plant. You would just smoke, hopefully throw some flashes to keep them from killing your planter, and just pray that you could win the post plant. Might just save this. I think it's over for them. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Whatever. I wanted to see a 1v4, but I guess it's fine. If I were to build a team for FaZe right now, if I were to change what's going on, I'd do something kind of big. I keep Kerrigan. I keep Ropz. I'd keep Frozen. If you're going to bring any Opera in other than like Monacy, it might be Torji. You might, again, all the mouse players just end up playing on FaZe. Torji and maybe Jimmy. I don't know. Exertion also, he's pretty aggressive, and I feel like could fill the roles of Rain pretty easily without struggle. Let's see. Ropz got that AK. It looks like they're going to save. They're on 1 loss. Interesting. I mean, they're on 1 loss, which means they only get 1,400 or 1,900. So I guess Frozen can get a little bit of something. Yeah, Frozen and Rain barely have money, but they can still get AKs or go lils with util. It's holding for that. Interesting. Because I see people throw the reverse nade. Spinks, you couldn't get the Glocker at least? Come on. Now they've got 2 AKs. This is totally winnable. I don't know if anyone has armor, because for some reason it only shows if you have full armor instead of just Kevlar. Okay. 3v2. Oh, the timing was almost there. Flames will get it. Kerrigan has no gun. I feel like that was a little risky for Ropz. Zaiwu in the clutch. Oh! Are they bringing it back? Is Vitality about to bring this all the way back?
No.
Might get some rounds, though. Ropz. Estonian gamer. There's not a lot of Estonians in Counter-Strike. There's more Estonians than Italians. The only Estonians I can think of really are Ropz and HS, who was like, I think in, I don't know when it was, 2019, 2021, something. He was just like a perpetual stand-in for like tier 2 teams. He played on that Optic roster when they had like Alu and Freiburg. That was so weird. That and the Danish roster with like Stanislaw, Shazam, Config. I think Magisk was over there. That Optic roster with Tarek and Rush and all of them, the one that won E-League, was pretty big. Let's go to this next round. Ropz ain't even alive. All right, they're probably going to half buy here. They've got almost full loss bonus, so they can get a pretty good buy-in. You know, I noticed that instead of doing a lot of full saves, teams are often forcing probably more than they should so that they can, like, these are winnable rounds. Instead of Kerrigan saving so he can get like a really good full buy next round, he's getting more than he should because you can win those rounds in CS2 now. The economy has changed from a sort of all or nothing approach, and sometimes you would have like half buys, to almost always buying a little bit. Whether that's you have 3 guys almost full saving and 2 with an M4, or you do something like this where you have pistols and a lot of utility. They're not going to be able to... What's the loss bonus at here? 2,900, which means Kerrigan's going to have 4,100. He can only get an AK and 2 flashes if he wants. Oh my gosh. See, you can win these rounds. They had ops, they had AKs, they had... On FaZe they had... On FaZe they had no rifles, and now all of a sudden they have an op and an AK because the lower guns, like your guns don't really matter, I feel like. Depends on the... Obviously you want as many buy rounds as possible, but especially when you're winning like this, you can totally get rounds with just pistols or MAC-10s or Galils, hero AKs, whatever it may be. Oh, he died to flames. He was saving. That's okay, because he's going to have an AK. But now look at this. Their money is great because they were able to grab some guns. Like, their money is set now. Because if they lost this round, actually they would have been at... Let's say they full save last round or saved enough to get, like, big massive buys and then lost the massive buy round, then they would have... it would have been full loss at that point, so they still would have been able to get a little something. And then AKs. Okay, fast A main fight here. This is where Ropz plays. You notice that when somebody plays an extremity on the CT side, then they're often going toward that place on the T side, usually in a default. And we've seen him going over here a couple times. Nothing crazy, honestly, probably less times than not going. 50 seconds. They have 1 smoke on both sides, actually. Apex is here on A. They've got 3 fucking FAMASes, so they might as well have 3 USPs. Oh, I don't like it. And gets the kill. Just gonna run out the smoke. Zywoo gets 2. Okay. Yeah, you might say, oh, Zywoo got 2 with the FAMAS. The FAMAS is good. No, Zywoo could have done that with a USP. Zywoo could have done that with a PP Bison. Don't tell me the FAMAS is good. It's Zywoo who's good, okay? Who else had them? Spinks and Apex? They haven't gotten any. Okay. He's in on 1v2. Let's watch his perspective. There it is. See, the FAMAS sucks. That's what I've learned from this game. What I've learned is that Ropz knows how to bring it back in the big games, and that the FAMAS sucks ass. I hope FaZe does something cool with their roster, and by cool I mean they could honestly just like keep the same team. I wouldn't be upset about it. I hope they do something fun and exciting because I like to root for FaZe. They can always beat anybody, and they've looked kind of scrappy recently, which is kind of fun to watch. Watching them play these rounds that they should probably lose, and then they win them, and then they have rounds where they should probably win and they lose, but they end up still winning the game. It's just a lot of fun to watch. I love FaZe. I love Ropz, I love Counter-Strike, and I love you. Let me know who you'd like to see me do a demo review of. Like, subscribe, and give me your money.